Paul said something at the end of chapter 9 that I think on first glance could almost feel like it contradicts with where Paul ends here. Remember, at the end of chapter 9, he's talking about his ministry to the world. And he says, my mentality is that I want to become all things to all people. To the Jew, I became like a Jew. To the Gentile, I became like a Gentile. To those outside of the law, I became like those outside the law. To the weak, I became weak. To the strong, I became strong. I want to become all things to all people so that by all means, I might save some. So that's Paul's mentality as an apostle. And you could take that too far. You could say, oh, so that means that Paul's like a chameleon. In whatever group, whatever your beliefs are good with me. And so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to leave my values, my identity at the door and become whatever this group wants me to become. That's clearly not on Paul's mind. He's talking about this self-sacrifice. He's talking about laying down his rights, his freedoms for the sake of love. Yes. And so he's like, as an apostle, there are many times where I'm going to put myself out for someone that I'm loving. I'm going to sacrifice my comfort, my time, my resources for the sake of loving my neighbor, my friends, my family. But in this self-sacrificial love, I'm also not going to lose myself in the process. I'm not going to abandon my covenant with this one true God for the sake of love. That would undermine the whole system. And so there is this careful line that Paul is drawing. And this is why we've spent so much time. We're spending 4 weeks on this section in Corinthians because it's a very nuanced discussion. He says this is not a very simple one-size-fits-all answer. There are times when meat is just meat, when I can give glory to God because God is the one who created this food, and it doesn't actually matter where this food came from. I can just thank God and eat my meal. But then there are other times where I'm actually participating in a system that is undermining the gospel. And so in those moments, I need to abstain, right? And so there's a bit of nuance necessary. There are times when I actually have to lay down some of the rights that I could cling to say, yeah, as a Christian, I can do all of these things. But in this case, it's not being loving to the person next to me. And so I'm going to stop. Right? And so he's going back and forth and coming at it from different angles. And he's saying, look, no, as a principle, I'm going to lay down my rights for the sake of love. Yes. But I'm not going to lose myself in the process. And I'm not going to stop having this deep, intimate relationship with my creator God at the same time. And so now he's kind of rounding out this discussion here to say at its core, our religion is a relationship God has invited us into. Don't lose that. Don't forget that the primary invitation that God has extended to all of us is to have this deep, intimate love and relationship with him.